The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game is a game unlike any other. With thousands of different cards and hundreds of different archetypes with different gimmicks of how you should play the game, there really is no limit as to how you can express yourself and play any deck in this game at all. Aside from having 40 cards or 60 cards as like the minimum amount and maximum amount, you can do practically whatever you want and no one can really stop you. So, what happens if I take certain decks and make them a bit more fun? Not just a bit more fun, but a bit more me. That's what this series is. I don't know how frequently this series is going to happen. I don't know what these videos are going to be like. However, I made a Swordsoul deck. That's right, actual Swordsoul. I hate it here, but it's not bad. It isn't bad, and it's playing funny cards that I think are sticking to the core of what Swordsoul is. Swordsoul is a deck that is able to play around your opponent's boards with free special summons using the Tenyi and Swordsoul monsters, which are activated by revealing or discarding worm monsters in hand. It can burn your opponent using long Yuan effects. It's not a synchro ladder, so it does not special summon a synchro monster into another synchro monster into another synchro monster, but it does special summon multiple synchro monsters on one turn. It can summon link monsters using the Tenyi strategy, which is a major supporting factor in why Swordsoul is so good. So I have decided to add some worm monsters, which are relatively easy to go into, such as True King Baristos the Fathomer, and Metaltron 13 the True Draco Combatant, both of which are able to reach into the other, and actually Metaltron the 13 can actually get me pretty much anything in my extra deck at all, which is just cool, although it's a little bit harder to summon out. But there are certain situations in which I will get it out, and that's great. Then I have different cards such as Swordsoul Emergence to get me into my Swordsoul cards faster, as well as give my Swordsoul monsters their own effects. I have Vessel for the Dragon cycle to send worm monsters like Ashuna or Vishita to my graveyard, giving me more effects. And then I also have the ability to burn my opponents for their life points and return all set spells and traps on the field to the hand, which is actually really good with the current Yu-Gi-Oh game in Master Duel looking like Tier Limits, which set a lot of cards up, with Labyrinth, which set a lot of cards up, with Sprite. It actually doesn't do anything against Sprite. I don't really know why I mentioned Sprite, but I hate Sprite. I just wanted to say that. This deck, though, is fun, honestly. This deck is fun because I'm not playing real Swordsoul, and because Baronne de Fleur is not in my extra deck. That's right, I'm throwing shade. Fuck that card. This extra deck is about as simple as it could be. One Shishao, one Changing, one Long Yuan, Ice Jade Jimmer Agreen, Psychic End Punisher, Xiaofeng, Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, Normal Stardust Dragon, Boxia, Yazi, 3 Monk, 1 Shaman, and 1 Berserker. That's it! That's all this deck is. It's pretty simple Swordsoul. You might be thinking, why is there an Assault Synchron in here? Well, what if I don't want to summon the token off of Long Yuan, huh? What if I really want to go into Axel Synchro Stardust for some reason, as if that's at all helpful? Maybe I'll do that, huh? Make an unaffected checking on my opponent's turn, or an unaffected Long Yuan would actually... You know, I wasn't even thinking about this until I was being attitudinal right now, but this could be not the worst thing in the world. Also, just special summoning any of these, normal summoning, going into Axel Synchro Stardust, then, you know, getting that stuff, it's like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Just getting the effect with back to go into Xiaofeng, which isn't a good card, but I mean, hey, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna have some fun. Ooh, we're playing against Punk. That's scary. Also, how long has it been since I've done live commentary during a duel? That's fucking weird. Holy shit, that's weird. Okay, let's see if we can play against Tier Limits. Bro's playing Tier Limits. It's if normal or special summoned and he controls a Tier Limit since top 3 of deck to grave. So he has an effect in... He definitely has a Tier Limit effect in hand. Probably going to max see me here. So he definitely has a Tier Limit effect in hand. He added Deer Note to hand so he has no other Punk monster in hand. Otherwise he could have summoned a Deer Note, gone into anything. Probably could have even summoned... Actually, no, because that's just special summon from there. So he had no other Punk monster in hand. Just the ending on Z Amen. These are considered effects. So, regardless of what I choose to do here, my opponent is going to have a response, which isn't what I want. So, the best course of action is not to use my Tenyis first, in case they don't have a monster effect response, but if they do, that allows me to just discard... I don't suppose it really matters. We can discard my Adhara to summon out Long Yuan. And then Long Yuan effect is going to resolve, summoning a token. and that's going to be good for us. Now they should have a monster effect in hand, I'm assuming. With they don't. That is so good to see. Oh my goodness, actually. I was fully expecting to get absolutely railed here. But now, because they don't have anything in hand, I'm going to Synchro Summon using Long Yuan and my Swordsoul token to go into Sinister's Sovereign Long Yuan, which is amazing for me. So let's summon him here, using these two. He doesn't have an animation for some reason. I'm content with it though. That's fine. We'll do 1200 damage with Long Yuan. Now, if they do have any effects that will activate anything, that's really good for me because it means I don't have to worry about it at all. We're then going to use Swordsoul Sacred Summit to target a Swordsoul monster in my graveyard, and because I control the Synchro monster, I can just target a Worm monster instead. So we are going to target Adhara. Now we're going to go using Adhara here. Get this guy out. We are then going to activate Meteor of Destruction. That's right, we're on a mountain. Even though I'm not using that field, which means meteors can hit, doing big damage. That might seem like a weird choice to you, but trust me, I thought it through. Now we're going to use Swordsoul of Taya, normal summon, and declare his effect, banishing a Swordsoul card from my graveyard. This card is banished. It increases its level by 1, right? So that would make this... It's able to go into level 9, and I don't think going into Xiaofeng is going to do anything for me here, so I'm just going to banish the Long Yuan instead. That will summon a... Oh? Oh my goodness, he has Nibiru. That's Nibiru. That's not Nibiru, that's Havnis? Oh, it's monster effect on the field? Oh, shit. Oh, no. I didn't know it was monster effects on the field. Let's go. Oh, shit. No, this is actually really bad. The Rhino Heart got sent, which is horrible. That is the absolute worst thing that could have happened. And now Scream can activate because a Tier Limits monster was summoned as well. No! It worked out for the... Okay. Oh, no, it doesn't. Ha, shit on, idiot. It's a when effect. Nice try. Oh, wait, actually, it's an if effect for monster. And then, if your opponent special summons a monster, when effect for Carter effect, so that doesn't activate. And they didn't activate Rhino Heart as well for some reason. But that means that I get to banish Havnis now, so I don't have to worry about that effect popping off at all. I could use Vashuda effect here, but I think I just have game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Shishao here. And then I'm going to go into Psychic End Punisher and just attack for game, because I don't think there's anything they could have that is going to stop me. It is very dangerous to... Nice! That was a good way to start it out. Tierleman had nothing. I don't know why they didn't activate Rhino effect. Why didn't he summon Rhino Heart out? He would have just... He went inside the graveyard. He would special summon Rhino Heart. Used Rhino Heart to send any Tierleman... Oh, he must not have had... He had nothing in hand, huh? Because he must have not had a tier name in hand either. Otherwise, he would have used that. Fuck you, Chrono. Get ruined. Yeah. Get shit on by garbage Swordsoul. You don't even know. You got hit with Meteor Comet. Okay. Not a particularly bad start, but I won't say it was a good one. We'll special summon Vishu. We'll declare effective Vishu to special summon my hand, first of all. Because they could have a response, such as Max C. They don't have a response, such as Max C, unless they activate it now for some reason. If they're playing Runic, though, I do think... I didn't mean to just snipe my microphone. If they are playing Runic, I think I'm just kind of fucked. Runic is a rough one to play around with this deck, I think. If I'd use this, I don't want to waste my normal summon on anything. So I guess my best option is to just go into Monk. That way I can return Fountain on their turn. So use the shoot effect, go here, Monk of the Tenyi. What do I do here? Normal Moyi. Moyi summon to... I mean, Shishao's not going to do anything for me, right? If they are actually playing that, Shishao's relatively useless. But I do still get Blackout, which means I'll have another option to pop the field spell. I need you in hand, so I can keep you for something else. We'll activate... We'll normal summon Moyi now. Effectual. I actually haven't added from deck to hand so far. So they might have a Droll and Lockbird in hand, which they might use after this chain resolves just to get rid of it. But that's also good to have against my opponent if they are to be playing actual Runic. Assuming, well, no, actually it's set cards, right? And you don't set the Runic cards, you just activate them from hand. That's not as good as I was thinking. We will activate the effect of Swordsoul Strategist Long Yuan, and we'll discard my Adhara. That will special summon Long Yuan and a token. And we absolutely have to go into Swordsoul Sinister Sovereign Long Yuan. Like, there really isn't another option I can do there just based on what my opponent might be playing. Although this would be cool. No, Long Yuan's better, because they'll summon their... yeah, Long Yuan is absolutely better, right? They summoned their monster with their thing. Let's assume they don't have the effect negation quick play spell in hand. They'll summon their fusion monster in the extra monster zone, giving them the runic card effect, and then they can have that banished. Then they will have the spell card in the field spell zone, which I can hopefully get rid of as well. It has to be like this, I think. I don't really think this works in a different way. You know what, though? Like, they could have some super cool blowout card that really screws me over, and in which case, fair play to ya. Can't do much about that. We can hope that they don't. Like, if I get Raigeki'd here, I do think I just lose. And if they negate the effect of... Are they not playing Runic? I'm still going to go into the assumption they're playing Runic, so I'm not going to respond shit until... Or I'm not going to use my Spell and Trap thing until they go with the Runic one. Yep. Special summon a Runic monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. That's perfectly fine. This is exactly what I was playing around for. So now on summon, they get their Hugin the effect, and then I get my effect of this, of Long Yuan. Oh, I could negate Hugin? Are they going to special summon another one anyways? They're surely not. They're surely not special summoning another one anyways. So then they use this effect. Then I'm also going to use Yugioh effect just to ensure that they don't get the field spell add. If they have anything in hand to respond to it, that's fine, because I'm not worried about that. But we are going to use Yugioh effect right now to banish my Long Yuan in Graveyard, just to make sure that Hugin the Runic Wings doesn't actually add the field spell. So they just have to discard the one. And I think that should probably solve the game for me here. I think that makes it so that way whatever they are going to play is not going to go well for them. Because even if they have a Runic Field Spell and then a Runic card in hand, I just negate the Runic Field Spell. Or not negate, but I'll banish the Runic Field Spell, which stops it from happening. Are you using that to target Yugioh? So they used Freezing Curses, which means this is almost certainly not Freezing Curses in hand. So it's okay for me to let this resolve now. Hugin still gets banished. It doesn't protect him from anything. Those 3 cards don't matter at all, because I should still technically have game next turn. Banish this special summon card. Do 1200. Your effect is going to draw... Oh, he draws 2 off of Magical Musket! Oh, I'm so dumb. That's actually super important for that to not go through. Freezing Curses is a once per turn though, right? All of them are once per turns? Yep. Okay, cool. Perfectly fine. If I don't have to worry about that at all, then it's not even a question. I'll just use this effect to banish the field spell now. This isn't going to do it. Yeah, alright, sure. You're placing it... You're doing what? Banishing it? Destroying it, banishing top 4 cards. Those top 4 also didn't matter. Hell yeah. Another 1200 Runic Fountain get banished, meaning that they don't have anything there. They do have more Runic cards in hand. I could increase its level by 1 till the end of the turn. I'm not going to do that. It don't matter. Realistically, I think I've won now? Ah. Okay. That was a mistake. It's not a ritual deck. I was thinking it was Magic-y. Yeah, that's not good. I was thinking it was Magic-y. I should have destroyed the max. I don't think that would have done anything for him, because he's already normal summoned to get the guy that did this now. Yep. Shit. That's not good. I messed up. I had forgotten, and I was thinking that these cards work in the same way as the Magic-y cards. I was thinking it was the Magic-y archetype, which is a ritual deck, not a Link archetype. I'm just going to use Hatred. I don't think it matters. I'm going to just pop it, unless this does anything. Oh, you can activate them from your hand. Fuck that, dude. Harpy's Feather Duster? Response? You're going to negate Harpy's Feather Duster with a counter trap. That's okay. That's not an issue. Not at all. What's this in my graveyard wanting to activate? Vishuda. Vishuda effect, duh. We activate Vishuda effect just to use to return that guy to hand. I'm dumb as shit. I always forget that the Tenyis are... Which is funny, because I actually have a proper Tenyi deck. I made a few different videos on that deck. But I always forget the Tenyi monsters are just for having a non-effect in grave or in hand to use their other effect. And it's only the special summon that you need only non-effect monsters. Let's use Hatred. Return this set spell and trap card from their field to the hand. Okay, Hugin again. That's fine. Hugin effect is going to activate to add the field spell. I'm not going to let it happen. They do have to discard a card here, which is nice. Now we get to negate the effect of Hugin, which I think secures us the game. Normal summon Ecclesia. Then we will use Ecclesia effect. Okay, cool, and that's game. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Jacko don't want to play no more. It makes sense. I think Swordsoul's a pretty good matchup for Runic, actually, having played it. You know what? That's not the worst opening hand I could have gotten. It's actually not the worst. They surrendered. They must have gotten the worst. Even though this deck isn't a meta Swordsoul deck, there aren't 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Imperm, whatever, that kind of stuff, right? Like, even though I'm not playing all these super meta cards, I'm still playing cards that work with the strategy and still do things on their own. So, at the end of the day, I'm still playing Swordsoul, even if it's not the Swordsoul that you're used to seeing with things like running 3 Moe. Why am I only running 2? I'm not crafting a 3rd one. That's literally that simple. Running no Barone in the extra deck, which is like the best card to summon in Swordsoul most times, because you're just passing on Barone and an effect negation. That kind of stuff is just not something you'd think to take out of the strategy, but even without it, the deck is still incredibly powerful, which is why sometimes you just won't summon those monsters. I think it's perfectly fine to make more fun and silly variations of decks you like, which is why I had these cards in here. And I know Vessel's actually a good Swordsoul card now, people are running it, but at the same time, I'm using it for pure fucking memes just to send Vashuta to graveyard. It's literally just to send Vashuta to graveyard. I'm not even joking, it is just for that purpose. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you've all enjoyed. Hope you have all had a wonderful day, and if you haven't, there's always yesterday, there's always tomorrow, the day after that, so on and so forth. Don't let yourself be limited by what others do with decks. Yu-Gi-Oh is a very... You know what? Let me just show you real quick. Watch what happens as I start scrolling down through the right side. You see how many cards are appearing here? Still on rare monsters. We are still on rare monsters. What I'm trying to say is there are so many different ways to play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Stop trying to solve it and just have fun making weird stuff. With that being said, I will see you all next time. Take care of yourselves, everybody.